making designs is literally just making it work. So on a personal level, it really got me hooked into craving more knowledge, more understanding in life.
That was a hoot!
What is poppin', everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Raucous Modern Life podcast, a lifestyle show which features conversations with some of the most interesting and inspiring young adults living here in the Philippines. The purpose of this show is to educate the listeners and myself about different hot topics in Filipino society and culture while providing quality kalokohan. Let's get to it. Hey, what's up? Hello. Before we get into this episode, I just want to talk a bit about our sponsor, B2M Construction Inc. B2M Construction Inc. specializes in design, supervision, and construction of structures made for both private and public sectors. Whether you have needs for renovating your home, construction of a new office, or even kiosks for your franchise, B2M got you covered. Established in 2018, their people-first mindset and values have defined how they've worked to this day, always putting the safety and needs of both their client and their employees as their top priorities. Working on a budget? They got you. Impossible ideas? No biggie. They'll do whatever they can to help you because you always come first. If you want to learn more about B2M Construction, you can find them on Instagram at b2m.ph and their website www.b2mconstruction.org. Got any inquiries? You can contact them at 0917-705-0079 or email them under info@b2mconstruction.org. That's 0917-705-0079 and info@b2mconstruction.org. Turn your ideas into concrete masterpieces with B2M Construction Inc. Thank you again to our sponsors, B2M Construction Inc. And without further ado, let's get into this episode. What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Raucous Modern Life podcast. In today's show, I'm joined by the two visionaries and the ever so talented artist behind Support Your Friends. Now, what is SYF, you ask? It's not just a clothing brand, but a platform for expressing Filipino culture and inspiring others to live with a purpose. They have over 17,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram combined. They have hosted multiple pop-up events and are one of the more popular streetwear clothing brands here in the Philippines. And seriously, if you're a millennial to Gen Z age living in Manila, it's either you know them or you've been living under a rock. It is my pleasure to introduce you all to the Cruz brothers, Ralph and Randell, and Anna Bautista. What's up, guys? Thank you for being on the show.
Hey, nice one, bro.
Sick ass intro, bro.
Dude.
You're always so good with intros.
I'm already to be part of it, so thank you for including us, bro.
Of course, man. I'm just spitting facts. You guys have done a fantastic job in your clothing brand.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We try.
Try our best.
Yeah, you've been really good at it, and I love your designs, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of other people do too. So I just want to start off the pod by asking the question, as I always do to my guests: what's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
So guys, what's poppin'?
You go first, bro.
Poppin', Anna.
Well, now, I'm still working remotely from home for my day job.
Mm-hmm.
But we're working on a new collaboration for SYF as well. So that's definitely something you guys should
Exciting.
look out for.
Mm-hmm.
And
Can
I
we?
just finished college and I'm just painting for an upcoming exhibit soon. So that's it for now.
That's great. Super exciting that you guys are coming up with a collaboration. Can we get a sneak peek on air or not? Is it a surprise?
Once you sign the contract, I think you can do that. But as of now, not yet.
I shot my shot. I shot my shot.
You'll be
That's
one of
dope.
the first to know, bro. Promise.
All right,
You
super.
get a free shirt, bro. Promise.
Hey, all right. if you use promo code Rockets Modern Life, joke lang.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah, but
That can happen. That
Maybe
can
one day.
happen.
I gotta reach up to your level first, man.
No way, bro.
oh no,
We're doing
Support your
good.
friends, bro.
Yeah.
Going, we're getting there. We're getting
Yeah.
there.
You love to hear it, man. What about you boys? What's been poppin' with you guys?
You first, Randall, or me?
You can go ahead first, bro. I'm shy.
We have to think. I'm kidding. No, actually, for me, I think we just really took advantage of the quarantine, the lockdowns. So it's been 6 months. So in the first phase of this lockdown, we took our time, stepped back for SYF, and just started talking about how to move forward rather than just keep on going. Since we had that time to actually think about it. And besides that, same old like work, construction life is doing good naman. So I think that's a good sign. And then now I think we're really into motorcycles lately. So
Hey.
I think that's really
So,
fun.
why don't you
We have a new
shed some
hobby
light?
right now, and it's
So what
really
kind-
addicting in a way.
What kind of motorcycles do you guys drive?
Well, I drive a BMW R90 Racer.
Oof.
If you're familiar with that one.
I am
And
not,
Randall-
but it sounds sick. It sounds cool. Once it got
It's
the
scary,
numbers,
bro.
it's scary.
It's a really
Yeah.
good experience in a way, driving a motorcycle. I know we're still newbies, but to actually ride and have that mindset of you going to point A and B, like you're on a mission, because it's not a joke.
Yeah.
I think that's a high to it, so it's really fun.
Yeah.
Imagine riding 160 kilometers per hour, and you could feel the wind gushing into your face, and you can't even hold the clutch anymore because the wind's too strong.
Oh my god.
It's amazing, but also you just have to be safe. Like you have to be mindful
for sure.
that you're not gonna crash.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta be
Gotta
super
think about
focused.
it.
Yeah. But I mean, that's all.
Like
Yeah, part of the adrenaline stuff. Yeah.
It is.
Sorry, Ralph, you were saying.
And I suggest to go to a motorcycle school before actually trying it,
Mm.
because we did.
Yeah.
Because it's not a joke, but it's really fun. Like once you get used to it, like the manual shifting and stuff. God damn, bro.
What's
You can go
the
places.
what's the fastest you've ever clocked in at?
Me, Dad, I hope you're not watching. No, I'm kidding. 180.
180. Damn. Oh my god. Like when I'm driving a car, I get pretty scared when it's like over 150 already. When the wheel's shaking, mas lalo pa if there's like no windshield
Yo,
against you.
I
It must be
know. Like,
fucking intense.
With the 180 speed, it's like this na eh. Like you have to move forward. You have to move forward because you can't really catch the air.
Yeah.
Because it's really dangerous. And imagine one of my other brother JC, he tried the 200. It was really crazy.
That's fucking
Like
nuts.
tunnel vision, bro. So, but it's fun.
He said that he's never gonna do it again, but I highly doubt it. I got a feeling he's gonna do it again.
Once you taste the devil's water, man, you never go back.
That's true.
But yeah, for sure, it must be a lot of fun. Like just the adrenaline rush you get, and you kind of get like into the zone also. Like I'm pretty sure after you get the hang of it, it's like when you kind of
Yeah.
feel like you have more control, then that's when it gets like really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And actually, the best part about riding the motorcycle is not just about the feeling on your own, but the feeling with the bond with your dad, with your brothers. You get to go to places that you don't even know exist here in the Philippines.
So is this like a
And-
whole family thing? Like you guys all ride?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
except my
Damn.
sisters.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's me, my brother.
The boys.
Yeah, the boys.
The boys.
So it's really there's a certain bond between us whenever we all ride, and we get to share it with our mom, sister. So it's really fun, especially on Sundays, because you have breakfast on example in Lipa. Then after that, lunchtime, you go back with your mom, talk about it, talk about how dad's having a hard time with the mountains. There's a certain bond, man. It's really fun.
Yeah, guaranteed, dude. Those moments are like irreplaceable, bonding with your families and your dad and stuff. And it's a nice conversation to have in the lunch and dinner table.
Basically, that's what we're doing the whole
Are you down to try riding motorcycle, bro? Or
I'm down like inside the village lang. Siguro max mga 45. You know? Like, dude, I'll just say, like, I went to Siargao actually, like, last year, you know, when traveling was still a thing. And, you know, everybody, like, wants to rent a scooter. So it's just like, fuck it, dude. I'm gonna do it too. Like, if they can do it, I can fucking do it. So, like, with no practice, like, a week before, maybe I drove, like, once just to get, like, a feel of it. And I did it. And at the start, honestly, I was super bad. Like, I kept having to use my feet because, like, I was scared of, like, falling. But, you know, yeah, I mean, I can't completely understand what you guys go through because I was going like max 45 nga. But like, you know, there's still like a zone that you get and it feels nice and the wind's blowing through your
We
face.
actually started with a scooter also, like with a Vespa. So when we got a Vespa 3 months ago, we were like really happy now with that one. Like just riding it, feeling the wind hit you. It's really different. But there's another level to it, which is the big bike. So I think you'll love it also once you try it. So I suggest you try once you're allowed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was just about to say, like, I'd be open to it. I don't know about my dad, though.
You know why we got into motorcycles? It's a funny story, man.
How come? How come? Let
Well,
me
actually, me and my dad, we've always liked motorcycles when we were when I was in high school. But last October, we went to Siargao. So me, Kuya, and some friends, Robert and Nicolo. Shout out to them. It was really fun. But we got so ashamed, bro, because we were about to surf. So we had to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So the girls asked us, can you guys ride a motorcycle? Because someone needs to ride, of course, drive. And we all said we can't. We don't know how. So after that, the moment we got home, we're like, bro, we need to learn how to ride a motorcycle.
The chicks are not gonna date us if we don't ride motorcycles. That's
No,
facts.
it's not with the chicks though, but then it's like your manliness.
Yeah,
where
you go.
you need to learn the essential skills in life.
Yeah.
You can't.
Fair enough.
You have to know.
Can
it.
I add to that?
Oh,
Go.
Bro,
welcome back,
fucking
Justin.
In Siargao, if you're a man and you don't know how to drive a motorcycle and you're riding on the back of the girl, dude, everyone's gonna look at you and laugh at you, dude, the locals. They're like, look at you. Dude, that's how I felt when I was there. And then I don't know how to motorcycle, so I always ride in the back lang. It's a great time. Shout out to my ex. And then, dude, all the locals will just look at us like it's like taboo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yun lang.
We don't try going to the surf spot nga. Wala, that's life. We learn. We live and we learn.
You live and you learn,
So
dude.
the moment we got back, we gotta learn how to ride a motorcycle. Have to.
Dubs, take inspiration from this, man.
I need to learn how to bike first.
Oh yeah, baby steps, baby steps. You can't go straight into the BMW motorcycle. You gotta start with the bike, then you move on to the scooter, and then you go for the big boys.
Yes, sir,
That's one
yes,
thing
sir.
I'm doing also, bro. I'm teaching my baby sister how to bike, how to use a skateboard. So that's
Baby.
one poppin' I'm doing right now.
Literal.
Because I also
skateboard
want her
popping.
to ride the motorcycle in the future because it's really fun. Like it's
Yeah.
scary, but it's more fun than it is scary because you get to control everything, the whole situation. So you just don't have. So you just have to be responsible and look forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. And if you get your sister on, that's like UBS, bro. I mean, ultimate bonding. Oh no, UBE pala. Experience.
Ube.
Ube pala.
Ube,
UBS.
ube.
That's the ultimate burger steak pala from Jollibee, bro. R.I.P. R.I.P. That was a classic. Okay, anyways, we're pretty off topic now, so I'm gonna bring us back to the main reason why I brought my guest here to this show, and it is SYF. So a lot of people know your brand, but not a lot of people really know the origin story, you know, how you guys started and why you guys started. So I guess I want to start off by asking the question, what is your origin story?
Okay. Well, to be honest, the way we actually thought about doing something was way back. It wasn't really instantly streetwear, but I think it was really innate in our blood, like me and Randall, because our family's all entrepreneurs, so we had that innate blood that we should start something as soon as possible while we still have the time. And when that time came and we were really close, we just talked and like tried to search for what we are really into and like how can we start it in the least possible way of spending so much since we're still young. And then we aligned it to what we have since our family business is both construction and manufacturing. and then we had this kind of love to streetwear and that culture. We just combined everything and thought about it, and like instantly, not really instantly, we just started to build around that thought, and then slowly, as we continue to build, then boom, SYF was there.
Damn.
I think my origin started back in 2012. So I don't
Long
want
time
to say
ago.
how we made SYF anymore, but then I want to say the prerequisites before making SYF.
All right,
Like
let's
why
hear
I
it.
thought, yeah, like why I thought that way, why I came into that interest. So that one thing that I was highly interested in was my brother, because of course Kuya, so you look up to him. And
Bruh.
one thing that he used to do when
Aw.
when I was younger, he would used to collect sneakers. So if you like sneakers, you always pair it up with a nice shirt, right? So from there, back in 2012, if you guys remember Linsanity,
yeah.
of course, New
Of
York.
course. Mixtape, baby.
Yes, sir. So that's one of if I remember correctly, I remember when the hype train of Linsanity started. I wanted to make shirts of Linsanity. I think that's back in 2012. But then there's no root to it. It's just because I love what he's doing. Then fast forward 2 years after, 2014, I was a senior in high school. I told my friends that I wanted to start designing clothes, but I don't know how to design. I'm not good at drawing. I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay at drawing,
Yeah.
but then I'm not the best at it. I can give you like a 3D
Like an Anna
drawing of a
Bautista
hand.
type.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I remember I would go to the Hundreds' blog, Bobby Kim. I would go to his blog, Tumblr. I would message him like, how do I start a streetwear brand, blah blah blah. But of course he never replied, but there's always an article that answers all the questions. So I would just read and read. Then me and my brother were super close. So whenever I tell him what I want to do, it always clothing always resonates because that's something that he likes to do as well. He loves to dress up. So I think it's just connected. Then when we both were ready enough, knowledgeable enough, we told ourselves, tara, let's start something. So from there, take over, punching buttons, then take over again, then support your friends. So one of the biggest reasons why support your friends is support your friends, it's because we were very inspired with our own friends. This was when everyone was trying to do something, plotting and scheming on things that they could do. My friends started rapping, people are graduating, and they're trying to make something out of their lives. So that's one thing that we like to look at, like that feeling of having support, your friends helping you out. That's one thing that we wanted to express with support your friends. So that's one of the origin stories.
That's a wonderful story, actually. I love how you guys are really driven by helping other people and getting your friends involved. It's like Manila is a pretty small community, so it really helps if you can interlink people together and just help everybody out. And that's a
Yes.
great motive to be driven by. And that leads you to getting Anna Bao into the team and making
Yes,
her
absolutely.
your artist. So,
I-
what's your story, Anna, with SYF?
I actually have something I could squeeze into what Randall said.
Okay, let's hear
Because
it.
backstory, all of us come from the same school, but we're all different batches. So it's Ralph first, and then Randall, and then me. So when Randall was in senior year, like he said, I remember because we would always have these inter-batch cheering competitions, and each batch would have a shirt. And then I would always make the one for my batch. And then randomly, we were all like waiting for our sundo in the covered courts. And then Randall comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, I like your batch shirt." I don't know if you remember this though, but
I don't
we
remember
were like,
this.
Ooh.
but he was like, "Hey, I like your batch shirt. Soon, let's make something. I might have a
Oh,
brand,
yeah.
blah blah blah." But then
Yeah. Oh, yes.
that was it. So 2 years after, nothing was happening. Nothing was like coming into form. But then here we are, like 6 years after. We're all like working towards the same goal. But it actually started when I was collaborating with them for an event. And then after that event, we just started collaborating more and more until eventually I became a partner. So I think it all fell naturally.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And it's great how your style super appealed to them as well. And you guys were already friends before, so it only made working with each other a lot easier. But another question I kind of wanted to ask was like, what style do you guys think you like would, or like what adjective would you describe your style to be? Like when it comes to SIF, when it comes to your design and stuff, like is there a certain brand that you try to peg, or is there just like, whatever comes to mind? I mean, that's a totally acceptable answer as well.
It
I
actually
think
really
most
depends.
of our
Go,
designs,
Anna.
it's actually there's a story. There's always like a story or an inside joke behind it.
Oh,
So
really?
most of our design prompts are really mostly something we've talked about, something we've seen, or like a line our friend has dropped us. It really stuck with us. So yeah, so we're just like a bunch of experiences that we try to, make a graphic of it. Like we try to visualize it, if that makes any sense.
We like metaphors. Like whenever you say something and that line, when someone talks smooth and they say really cool metaphors,
Yeah.
we like to put that in shirts.
Okay.
So that's how we
What
that's
would
how
what,
we see.
what would be like an example of one of those metaphors that came from like a friend and like a story maybe?
From my like example from my dad. He said something with you can't teach old dog new tricks. That's an old metaphor, but then we haven't seen anything that resembles that graphic. So that's one. But usually we have like hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds of lists of metaphors that we like.
It's just like a
Well, for
Like for
me,
metaphor
that,
bank.
well, for me, you
for
can
that.
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No problem,
No,
no
go
For me, I
problem.
think you can really put. Sorry, I think you can really put SYF in a box for us. Like we can play around with sports, art, or anything like that. So it's really SYF is really versatile. It's the brand is really open to anything. Like you can really put it in a box. This is just a sportswear brand or just a streetwear brand. SYF keeps on evolving based on what we're really into at this moment, or like the past experiences that we learned, and then at the end of the day we use those ideas and create something out of it. So it's really an open book for us. You can really put us in a box. So it's limitless, basically.
Yeah. Okay, Anna, go.
No, I was just saying the example. What Randall said was like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Like that was from his dad. So when he told it to me, we were brainstorming. So we were like, tricks. So we were dissecting the words. So tricks, fine, was magic. So I thought of a deck of cards. And I think it fit that their dad's name was Lucky. So if you look at the shirt, the first card, we're all clovers. So yeah, we try to dissect the words first and then we try to visualize it.
That's super sick. And what like how does your creative meetings like work? Like when you guys wanna like like design come up with a new design for a shirt, like how do those usually go? Like do you just choose a metaphor first and then try to see what slaps and then kind of like build off that, or do you guys have like your own scheme going on?
No, we always have one concept, like one centralized concept. Then for some metaphors, we just mix and match. Like, oh, this kind of looks like it kind of it's kind of connecting. So that's one process. But most of the time, we have 1,000 ideas, man. Like that's how I think about design. Kasi it's about making it work. Like you have 10,000 ideas that you have to try, but then only one or two would work out. So that's how our meeting goes. Like if you look at my Telegram with Anna, oh my God, there's a lot of screenshots of our designs. Like probably 10,000 images now.
Yeah.
And
Picking up
and
that
we always
Telegram cloud.
we're always honest with each other. Like, okay, this idea is too far fetched from what you wanna tell the people. So we relax. We find another one. So it's really a collaboration. We talk about it and we brainstorm all the time.
And has that affected you guys like since the quarantine, or have you guys been like one of the few that are actually more productive when you're working from home?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I'm
really
very
more
productive.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
That's good. At least that didn't affect you. And yeah, that's
How
cool how
about
you
you? How about you, Rob?
what about what like have I been productive? It's
Yeah,
it's been like a roller coaster. Like
there are
obviously
days.
yeah, oh no, it's like mine usually comes like in maybe like periods. So like at the start of the quarantine, they'll straight up just chilling, playing 2K, like just relaxing, watching Netflix. And then after a while, you get tired of it, and then you're just like, fuck this. Like I want to like do something more meaningful, and like you can start getting productive, start exercising, all that jazz, and then next week I start school already actually for
Oh
vet
wow!
school. Yeah. So
Congrats.
thank you.
Wow.
Thank
Congrats,
you.
bro.
You guys are too
Congrats.
kind. Yeah, thank you. So I know that's gonna be a grind. So for the past 2 weeks, just been straight up bumming. But it's always good to have a balance here and then.
Did you want to be in med school your whole life? I remember when we were young, I never asked you that question. Like we
Yeah,
used to hang out before in Palm,
yeah,
remember?
yeah,
Isn't back in the days? It
yeah,
was
for
so fun.
sure. But
But I
we were
never
too.
got to ask you that, man. Like, what did you want to do?
Well, it actually all originated when I was a kid. I wanted to be a paleontologist, like in Jurassic Park, and then I
Oh.
realized that, like, animals are dead. Dinosaurs are dead, so that's not really gonna work out. And I don't know if I want to be dust and bones all day. And then my love kind of got transferred towards animals. The classics: Steve Irwin, David Attenborough, all of these cool animal people, and I don't know. It's just an interest that never really left me. The only other thing I really saw myself doing was maybe getting into either human medicine or maybe sports medicine, anything to do in the sports field. That's why I did sports science as my undergrad. But I don't know, man. This passion like of animals and my interest never really died in them. So I'm still gonna shoot my shot going into vet school. It's not gonna be easy, but at least I know like if one day I do like die, no, we're all gonna die, but like die early. It's like I know that I shot
Right.
my shot.
You did
I
your
shot my
best,
shot.
yeah.
I shot my shot, and that's all that really matters for me, at least.
Agree.
We support you. Go for it.
Thank
Shoot
you.
your shot. The main lesson in life. Shoot your shot.
Yeah, miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There.
All right.
Jake.
So, another question I have for you guys is, what was one thing you guys wish you knew before starting your own streetwear brand? Like if like
Organizing.
organizing, yeah, like if there's like like a high school student that's always wanted to start a streetwear brand but never really knew where to start, and hasn't had experience to make the mistakes. Since you guys have been through that, like what would be your advice for them?
Make
Well,
a business plan.
For
Business
sure.
plan.
Make a business plan and build on your foundation. I think that's one thing we learned from the start. That we learned recently lang.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
build the foundation. Like, to be honest, you don't really have to rush. Like, it's so easy to create a line. Like, you can just go to a supplier and make a shirt for you. But you should actually make something that really matters to you and the people around you. That's what I think. That's our main reason why we do this. Like, income is there, but like at the end of the day, it should represent you the most. The brand should represent you the most. So if you have that foundation clear and aligned with with all of your teammates, and you keep on building around it, I think it's gonna be not easy, but like it's gonna be fun. Rather than you creating a line and then just aiming for profit or anything like that, because not everyone's gonna be into it. Not You can't really hook someone without that foundation that best represents you as a person and how your audience will like that brand. So yeah, for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess I just want to build off that question because I didn't really get to ask you guys earlier. Like, what is like SYF for you guys? Like, what is your foundation of SYF? Like, what are your mishvish or not necessarily mishvish, but like stuff like that. Like, what embodies like what SYF is for you guys?
Who's gonna answer?
The funny thing about that question is we all have our own different answer on who SYF is.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
Because-
all the same. You guys can
Yeah.
all have different ones.
Yeah. So for me, support your friends is really an embodiment of different interests of different people. Like it's a combination of my interests, Kuya's interests, Anna's interests, your interests. It's a combination of our neighborhood. It's I think Shaq Palanyok said that, where we are all unoriginal. We are all a copy of different people that we meet. So that's one thing that stuck with me when making SYF. Like
There.
you learn from different people. There, everything is a
There,
copy of a
there.
copy.
All right,
Yeah.
Dubs, let's go, baby.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jamie.
But
So,
yeah, that's great.
That's something that I think SYF is in building upon. So SYF now will not be the same SYF in the next 3 years. But of course, there's always that root that connects that certain concept. Like there's always that certain hook, which is about community, which is about your friends. Your greatest audience would be your friends and your family, and you only have to cater to them. Maybe, I think. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. But that's what I believe in. That's what I believe in.
Yeah, and that's what's most important to you. What about you guys? What is SYF for you guys?
I know.
For me, I think SYF is whatever you want it to be. Like right now, I guess you could call us like a multidisciplinary studio of some sort. But
Sounds professional.
when it
I
was
like it.
first, when it was first starting out, it was just a clothing brand. So none of us, I think, really had this vision of it being an agency, like for events consultancy or brand collaborations or for strategies. But it is what it is now. And I think it's because of the people and the things that inspire us along the way. Like, there are so many brands out there. Anyone with a company or a brand can make something pretty. But I think it's how and why you do it that makes you different. Simply offering, I think, a high quality product isn't enough. Like you have to sell why you do it and why the world needs another product. Like there's so much waste going on. Like why do you need this? So yeah, like what Randall said, it may be SYF now, but in a few years, who knows what it's gonna be. And I hope it only grows though.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's great. You guys are always and constantly evolving. Ralph, you got anything to add to that?
I think I said my part already, the first part, and then yeah, I think
Okay.
I'm good.
All right, cool. Today's episode is sponsored by B2M Construction Inc., where they turn your ideas into concrete masterpieces. At B2M Construction, they are committed to treating every person and venture with the same integrity and excellence they believe everyone deserves. A quality of work with the same exceptional standard that you can always expect from them, regardless if it's their first or 100th collaboration with you. B2M Construction Inc. specializes in design, supervision, and construction of structures made for both the private and public sectors. Established in 2018, the company was founded by 4 Filipinos who had a keen passion for creating beautiful and functional solutions from a simple idea. They pride themselves in having big aspirations for their company as they move towards the future. They know that those lofty goals will only be met by strong foundations built with stronger values and excellent service. If you want to learn more about B2M Construction, you can find them on Instagram at b2m.ph and their website www.b2mconstruction.org. Got any inquiries? You can contact them at 0917 705 0079 or email them under info@b2mconstruction.org. That's 0917 705 0079 and info@b2mconstruction.org. turn your ideas into concrete masterpieces with B2M Construction Inc. Now moving on to our next question, it would be, I mean, you guys all live different lives. You guys all have different, like, I mean, maybe not so much for Randall and Ralph, but you guys have different backgrounds. I mean, personal backgrounds. That's fair enough to say. So I guess I wanted to ask, like, what has SYF done for you guys on a personal level?
Personal level. Besides the fact that people ask us, do you own Support Your Friends?
Yeah, besides that, well, it can be as like even shallower than that or deeper if you want to.
I'm kidding.
It's all up to you. Like,
Well, for me personally, with all that's happening with SYF, I think we turned it into a challenge. At first, it was a fun passion project, but as we moved forward, got evolved, got bigger. I think we took on more responsibility. That we have this thought now. What can we do to make SYF better at every day? Because right now, there's a following already. I think we're building a following, and if we don't really act and prepare for these kinds of moments, anytime we can fail. And I think with that, it turned us more mature in a way to be more inspired and driven, to create more, to build more, to properly manage everything. So personally, I think we grew a lot from this experience, and we're gonna continue to grow and continue to build. So it's actually really fun.
that's great. I'm so sure it's fun working with your brother and like one of your other good friends. Like it's good vibes lang. Good vibes lang with you guys. That's what's great.
We fight sometimes, but then good.
They're choppy, bro.
Yeah, your voice is kind of like a
Yeah.
droid.
You're like Darth Vader, bro.
Like Randall, what the fuck happened to you, man? The aliens got him. No. All right, take two. Let's hear it.
On a personal level, I think it got me more inspired and curious. Because, of course, making a brand, I didn't read any books about it, you know? So it made me more curious in actually how do I put things together. And one thing in life that I want to achieve is not just having my own brand, but also living different lives, like having a lot of hobbies. So with SYF, I think it taught me to be much more productive, to be able to manage my time properly, to be able to build more relationships with different people, to understand more and be less judgmental, and to be much more open-minded, thinking in a lot of different ways and absorbing a lot of thoughts. It got me engaged into podcasts, got me engaged into different movies, got me engaged into art, into design, into furniture, into paintings. So those things I would never really understand until I started SYF. And right now I'm also studying to become an architect. So I'm gonna graduate in 1 year. So
Hey.
so hopefully. So that's one thing that also helped me build around SYF. Being an architecture student, being a design student. So if I was still a marketing student in DLSU, SYF may not be the same, or it may never had been brought up. But me moving to a design school and following a different path that's not really my passion allowed me to understand that my passion is really about creating different things. Creating a clothing brand, creating structures, building designs. And that's going back, that's why I feel like making designs is literally just making it work. So on a personal level, it really got me hooked into craving more knowledge, more understanding in life. That's about it.
Dude, that's super great. And you know, all of these like skills that you forementioned earlier and what you said, these are all like life skills that you'll be able to use for the rest of your, for the rest of your life. That's why it's called a damn life skill. And it's like it's all part of like your character building also, not just for yourself but as a brand as well. Like I love how you guys said that you guys have no specific like style or maybe like motive that you guys are really doing, because like you guys are constantly evolving, and just like us human beings, we're constantly evolving. We're not going to be the same person 4 years down the road, so it's great that you kept your options open, and I think that's like it's done some pretty good shit to you, bro.
And one thing that we want to evolve to as of the moment would be helping more people with our brand. Like example, helping and working with more NGOs. Because of course, it's not always about us. There's a lot of people who are in need, and that's one thing we want to evolve to. Because reading books, like example, Let My People Go Surfing, it really inspired me, everyone, Anna and my brother, to it's not just about you guys. You have to help different people around you, even if you don't know them. If they need help, you can always lend a helping hand, and we could do that by getting more sales and giving more, or collaborating and making more ideas come to life. That's the beauty of it. There's so much possibilities. You can't really put it in a box, put it in a bubble. There's so much to do, so much to see. So that's one thing. I mean, it's not one thing, but it's a lot of things that we
Yeah,
can do.
for sure. And that's amazing, man. I mean, it's really all about helping other people. I mean, if you only help yourself, you're really not gonna get anywhere much in life. And shameless plug, I work for an NGO called Fund the Forest. If if you're open to some collaborations in the future, you know
Yes,
who to
bro.
call. You know who to call.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, we got some
Yeah,
artists there as well. So, that should be some good content for you guys to put out as well.
yes,
All right.
sir.
Make it happen, bro. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. What about you, Anna? How has it affected you on a personal level?
On a personal level, it honestly taught me so much. Like, personally, I'm a very scatterbrained person. But then going into SYF, I realized like running a business or helping run a business, we have to have a clear thought, schedule, and plan to make things work. Because it's not just you who's working; it's your whole team. Then I don't know. I guess I've always had like a penchant for business and marketing books, but I never really had a chance to execute them until I became part of SYF. So you can only imagine my excitement when I could finally put this stuff I learned into practice. But I think most importantly, what it's done for me, I think it's a feeling that we get to give back. Like we have that chance that we can give back and highlight stories we feel most passionate about in terms of designing or in terms of collaboration, whatever it may be. It also made me learn that there's so much more than making things pretty. It also had to have meaning, I thought. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And I mean, I know that like for most artists, like most right side creative people, it's like, most of their passion and their creative flow comes from, in spurts. It's really not structured, but it is important to keep a schedule to at least, keep yourself on track, keep yourself accountable to you and your teammates. And that's a great skill to have learned. And, I'm pretty sure you guys learned a lot from each other as well, from working from one another. Like you guys are all three different batches, so different, like, I mean, generations, you could say.
Yeah.
And that's like super important to get like different age groups input on what's hot now, how to run things. The older ones can teach each other, like the younger ones, on like how this business is run, and then the younger people can help also the older ones, and keeping up to date with what's really popping. You know what I'm saying?
Poppin.
Tagline, joke lang. Jack Harlow, don't sue me. All right, but speaking of developing and like changing and evolving as a person, what are your other goals in life that you guys wish to achieve?
Who's gonna go first?
Any of you? Ladies first. Anna, let's hear it from
Anna.
you.
Dibs not, no.
Anna, go ahead.
uh, okay. Well, for SYF, I think my goal right now would be to have our own space. Like, I just don't want it to become a store. I'd want it to be immersive, where you can hang out with your friends or have coffee or even have listening parties. I want it to be like a space for the core of our mission, vision. Support your friends. So maybe we could host stuff there. We could host like fundraising things there, or we can like drop collections there as well. For SYF also, maybe someday, maybe too ambitious, but I'd want to take it internationally. If God
Definitely
permits.
feasible. You guys can do that.
Yeah, hopefully. And yeah, that's it for SYF right now.
Well, what about for you? Like, as a personal creative designer, what are some other goals you'd wish to achieve?
Maybe in the future, like I can do more things with NGOs. So like that's my main advocacy, and that's what I really want to do. I'd want to tie up my work with what I stand for, and yeah, hopefully just continue what I'm doing now because I really like working because I have a day job, so I want to expand on that soon. Like I want to, of course, get promoted and get like a higher position. So yeah.
That's great. Do you have any like type of NGO in mind that you want to support? Like, is there any cause that, kind of strikes you the most as a person?
I do actually. Like this is a personal project, but then we're starting our own NGO soon with a
Hey.
couple of my other partners. So yeah. We were set to launch like before the pandemic hit, before the lockdown, but then now we're just figuring out how to pivot like everything else. And now we're just like sorting out how to get which area we should get the land from because we want to put up a school
Oh, that's
somewhere
great.
near. But
That's
of course,
wonderful.
like after the whole lockdown ends. So yeah.
That's nice. So you guys are like driven by education mainly, if ever.
Yeah, but now those are just like short-term goals. My long-term goals, I guess that's just for me right now.
All right, I'll respect that. We'll catch up in another episode in the future, hopefully, when these goals have come into fruition.
Hopefully.
What about you boys? What are other goals in life that you guys would wish to achieve?
Well, for me, I knew this question would really come. It's like the basic question for everyone. What's your dream in life? What's your goal in life? And when you usually answer this, it's more of like to be successful, to get rich, um, to get that dream job, to get a dream car, to get that dream house, to have a happy, healthy family.
Yeah, but that's all surface level.
Yeah, and I know. So that there was this time that I was thinking how to perfectly answer that question. And then I was like, at that same night, I was scrolling through the internet, and then like I came across this website, Daunted That Projects, and then and then there was a question to the artist. So, what's your goal in life? And then his answer was to do things with less restrictions, to do the things that I like with less restrictions. And then when I read that, that really hit me. Like, I think that's a perfect answer. Anytime someone would ask me that, to do the things that I like with less restrictions. Because at the end of the day, there's so much stuff to do, but you can't really limit yourself because that's your drive, that's your goal. But at the end of the day, you have to have that limit. And I think if I reach that limit where I can do anything I like with less restriction, I think I can say that I made it.
Yeah, that's great, dude. And just like in life, it's all about like reducing friction into everything that you do, whether it be building habits, reduce the friction to do those habits, whether it's like sports, reducing friction to be able to get yourself upstairs in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the thing, just doing things in life to make your daily routine like easier, if you know what I mean. And yeah, that's a pretty very feasible and but still deep goal that you know
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. What about you, Randall?
My goals in life, there are a lot, but one thing that I am really building up on is living my hobbies. I think I watched it in an Eames documentary. Take your pleasure seriously. So that struck me. It's still stuck in my head until now, because I believe that life is not about how many cars you have, how many houses you have. It's more of how many times you've lived, how many things have you experienced. Have you seen a dolphin during a sunset while on a boat? No, you haven't,
No,
right?
you have not. I have not.
Right? That's one of my dreams, bro. Those little moments. So that's why going back, I want to take my pleasure seriously. I want to build new hobbies. I want to surf. I want to skydive. So those are my little goals, experiences where I can't really put it in words, but it's a feeling. I'm chasing a certain high. So that's one of my goals that I wish to achieve as of the moment. And one thing is traveling the Philippines, man. We've been so we've been blasted with media on how Philippines is shit now, but I feel so sorry already for our country that I think people often forget how beautiful it is. People from another country literally live here and move here because they think it's paradise. But us here in the bubble of Metro Manila, we all want to get out. So that's one thing that I want to change. Well, with my own mindset, I want to change that. I want to explore the Philippines more. I would rather explore the Philippines first than exploring another continent. So that's another goal that I want to achieve, to be able to travel and to experience a lot of beautiful things and make a lot of memories here in this country. That's why I actually bought a book,
Hey,
Philippines
plug.
Lonely Planet, bro.
Hey, yeah, Lonely Planet.
And then I'm highlighting like places I want to go to. So it also coincides with my motorcycle life with my brother. So I'm trying to influence my brother and other people who are riding the motorcycles to not just ride for the heck of it, but go to different points and destinations and experience its own flavor and add it to your own life. Because once you've experienced those stuff, some problems won't be problems anymore.
Yeah, for sure. And especially since you're riding a bike, it's like, they say it's about the journey, not the destination. Why not make the destination also solid? So it's the journey
Yes,
and
sir,
the
yeah.
destination. You know what I'm saying? So
I
it's two
know
in
So,
one. But
so
yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you. Like the Philippines, we're gifted with one of the most beautiful archipelagos in the world,
yes,
and
yeah,
that's also why I work with Fund the Forest because I like one of my life goals is to just educate and promote the beautiful wildlife that we have here in this country because we're really gifted with some of the most diverse like wildlives in the world, but unfortunately they're not getting the attention they deserve. Like most people didn't even know that we had pangolins, like the pangolins that they kind
yeah,
of look like
yeah, yeah,
armadillos.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
people didn't even know that we had those, and I didn't even know that we had. Like, I mean, look at these cute motherfuckers, like dubs. Pull that shit up. Like, yeah, we have some of these guys, and they just look
Where?
so.
Where do we have it though?
They're from
Where?
Palawan also.
Palawan?
Yeah, yeah. And then like, they just look so polite all the time with their hands like, like, excuse me, mister. But yeah, I mean, that's why like a lot of people don't even know that like where they're from and why we have them. And we only have about 3%, I believe, of our original rainforest, or like 30%. Yeah, but it's ridiculous. It's down to such a low number, and if we don't act now, you know, when, honestly. But yeah, speaking of your life goals, it would be a perfect opportunity to segue into our next segment, which is called "What is your why?"
Why?
What do you mean why? 'Cause you can't.
So, what is your why? Why do you do the things that you do every day? What keeps you motivated? And what is your reason to be? So, everybody's got goals, but you need the fuel. You need the fuel to keep the engine going. You need it to keep you inspired, keep you motivated. So, what is your why? Why do you do the things that you do every day?
I do it because for my family. That's my number one why is my family. My brother, my mom, my dad, my sister, my sisters, then JC. We were all raised to be to support each other. We were all raised to be there for one another. And growing up, we have a family business, which is construction. That's also why I'm taking up architecture. We can only make that work if we all work together. So my why is not about myself and why I want to do it, but my why is the people around me. Like, I don't know if that's a sensible answer on why, but then that's the basic answer that I could tell you. It's because of the people around me. They inspire me and they help me get better, and I want to do it for them. I want everyone around me to have a beautiful life, to live their hobbies, to take their pleasure seriously, to enjoy the beautiful Philippines, to enjoy their life. I don't want anyone not happy. I want everyone to be content and enjoying life. So that's my basic answer on why. The people around me, they
That's
inspire
beautiful.
me.
That's beautiful, man, and that just goes hand in hand with what your brand is. Support your friends. It's all for your friends, and like even though you mentioned family, I mean your family's your friends too. You get along with them. They're like your buddies too. So support your friends, and it all goes like comes around like back in circle. And yeah, that's just a beautiful motive that you have. Who wants to go next?
Anna or me?
Okay, I'll do it.
All right, let's go, Anna.
Well, personally, my why, I share the same personal why with Randall. Like, I want to be of service to the people around me, and also for the people around. Yeah, like it's because of them that we're who we are right now. But then, as for my why for SYF, at our very core, I think you can see from our name itself that SYF is all about connection and culture. So I guess that is our main why, and how we want to share it or reflect it towards our market. I guess we can also say that SYF would want to be a reflection of our time and maybe hopefully even pave the way for the future. I guess we also want to show that nothing's impossible. Like, look at us. We all came from different lines of work, but we all are working towards a shared dream, which is making SYF and making it what it is now. So yeah, we're still working and learning, but hopefully we'll reach even greater heights. But at our very core, it's all about connection, culture, and yeah, that's our why.
That's beautiful, and I love how it's all about the interconnectedness of the three of you and all of the other minds that go into SYF. What about you, Ralph? Ralph?
Well, actually, same. Good. What is my why? The best motivation is really my family. Like, if you know, like Dubs knows, like how close we are as a unit. We grew up in a sense where it's instilled in our mindset that you build together, you grow up together, and as the kuya of the family, it's stuck in me. At the end of the day, whatever happens, I will lead this family in a way that I should be the best example to everyone. So from now that I'm handling construction, which is complicated as fuck, and leading SYF as the handling the operation as marketing, and then working with Randall and Anna. I think those are the whys, the people around me also. Like, I'm not really copying them. It's just innate. It's the same. Like, what keeps me going is them. Like, they believe in me. I believe in them. And whatever we have now, we just need to continue building it as we move forward and have fun. So yeah, that's my way.
My dad would always tell us that hindi kayo malakas pag mag-isa kayo. Malakas kayo pag magkakasama kayo. So he would always tell us that, and and it's true, man. Like, we're not honor students. We can figure it out now. But then we could
But as a
figure it out.
unit, though, yeah.
As a unit, though, we could figure it out together. We could fail together, or we could make it right together. It really depends. As long as we shoot our shot, and it's fine.
Shoot your shot always.
Always, damn.
Oh, this
That's
might become a shirt.
Don't get that.
shoot your shot. I love it.
That's already.
Nobody get that.
Yo, somebody write this shit down, bro. This is gold.
I
All right. Yeah, that was fantastic, guys. So I guess I just want to wrap up the pod by saying thank you again for being on the show. Honestly, had so much fun talking with you guys and learning a lot more about streetwear culture, and the intrinsic things that go into having a streetwear brand. But before we go, I think now would be a perfect time for you guys to plug in where people can find you.
It's time to pull the plug.
Just like that. Plug it in.
SYF on Facebook, @SupportYourFriends, double S
Double
at the end,
Double S.
on Instagram.
Then you can check our website www.syf.ph. And
We
really
wanted to
stuff
get
soon. So
we
stay
wanted to
tuned.
get www.syf.com, but it's an insurance company, so damn damn.
Damn
They
it.
got neck.
They know what's up. Well, I mean, PH
Really
pretty
taking
sick
stuff
too.
soon. Stay tuned.
Hey, yeah, that's secret stuff that they don't want to disclose. Must be pretty exciting. So, listeners, you
We're
better
gonna
check
send you-
that out.
We're gonna send you some random stuff soon, bro. Surprise.
Hey, all right, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, what about your personal accounts naman? Like, what have they said? Oy, grabe guwapo naman tong Ralph Cruz na to. Gusto ko talk. Where can they find your personal accounts? Like, or whether Anna, like if they say like, oh, I really like the style of SYF, I want to see more of her work. Where can they find you guys?
Okay, you can follow our personal Instagrams at Ralph Cruz, at Randall Cruz RANDALCRZ KCRZ.
Yeah, you can't really
Then
pronounce.
at Anna Bauti Portfolio and at Anna Bauti.
Hey, memorize. I love it. All right, so
Okay, thank you so much, Dubs. Thank you also. This was
Yes.
fun.
Bros.
If you need construction services, let us know.
yeah, it was really so much fun. Glad to have Mr. Dublin on the show also, and just catch up with you guys because it's really been a while since we've all last talked. So it's nice to have these deep conversations with you guys. So I just want to wrap up again by thanking you all listeners for watching the entire episode of this episode of Rocket's Modern Life podcast, and I will see you all soon. Peace.
Good job, bro.